Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching in the world. It's game 2 of 3 for the EFL, 4 for me total, as I'll be taking in the Canada Trinidad game. Help from Colchester if you logged on to that one and joined me for the second half, because I slept in 2.5 hours of sleep and we're ready to run. And so we're going to keep the jersey on because it's been good luck so far as we take in Grimsby Town and Wrexham from Grimsby. No oversleeping for this one. RKO doing much better than me to start off in the morning. So to everybody that's here, Brendan's been here from the start. Andrew jumped in halfway. W&G's been here from the start. There's been a number of you that were there for the Mansfield one as we watched an early header in the 12th minute that went in. And then come back on a corner late in the game. There were opportunities towards the end. A header, a Tuvide opportunity that just got deflected wide. And so it's going to be mass chaos. We're going to take in the Stockport MK Dons game as well after this one. And so it is going to be a full day of football all day. And let's get into the rosters here as we go through it. I'll freeze the lineup, rotate, and bring in our lineup, and then we'll talk about theirs. As we're only 13 minutes away, one more thing. iFollow is rolling down below, but if you are international, it is available wherever your EFL stuff is picked up. If you have DAZN in Canada, ESPN Plus in the United States, if you've got Buying in Australia, the best thing to do is also go to Live Soccer, Google that, one word, and that website will provide you where you can watch any of the games from wherever you are and what service they're provided on. So that'll allow you to go over, turn the sound up. I can bump it up a little bit, but I don't want to go too much. It's probably on your end, but I will go up to yellow on mine and let everybody adjust theirs. And maybe that means up my... Yeah, apparently. Thanks, Matt. I tried to get there. I do appreciate Brendan sending the text message to try and wake me up. I was awake, and then... I was like 5 more minutes and then I slept. Then the alarms didn't go off. So that's on me. So UK viewers on Sky Sports, this one will be a different one because there will be everybody here will have the ability to put eyes on. But as I've already had a couple of people suggest, they're busy with work. They're doing whatever they're doing. They've got iPods, headsets in their ears. They're listening to me trying to get the score updates and what's going on. So I will be doing my regular commentary today as sleepy. That's the word to use. I tried valiantly. If the effort counts for anything, I was all over it. I have gone to iFollow for mine to be able to stream this one rather than using DAZN, just because I do think it's a little bit faster. We will see where we go. Actually, I should probably cross-reference as we go through it. The lineup, let's talk about it. Easy to talk about in the back. Ogonko is going to stay in. Easy to talk about in the back line. It's Cleworth, O'Connell, and Boyle. You've got Bolton sliding in, predictable, because Barnett has the boot on and is dealing with some issues. The flop counter is Brendan's way of contributing to this, in addition to him always being here and helping out with the chat and helping out with the moderation and being a source for me to reach out to. Massive, huge appreciation to Brendan, but he counts the flops that take place. It's for North American fans. It's something. The one thing that we don't like about football is the people who go to ground so easy. So we keep a tracker on it. The record, by the way, 16. That was in Notts County, and that is because of one man and one man only. The only person who we've given the putts award out to, and that's Jody Jones. Back to the lineup. So Bolton drawing in. That means also McFadden. If I'm sure you heard, he drew in. We had a gap in the 21 man roster. He drew into it. He's going to fill in and run down the right side if Bolton needs to. And Swirly, that's the plan, is Canada tonight and Wales on Tuesday up against Poland, both trying to get into their respective competitions. Us, the Copa America. First time CONCACAF teams have been invited into the Copa America. And then we've choked against Jamaica in our opportunity quarterfinal to advance. And so now we've got an extra game against Trinidad where we're the massive favorites, but I just don't feel confident. Anyways. The other lineup change, O'Connor's drawing back in, and he's not drawing back into the back line. He's going to be subbing out Young, which means, unfortunately, set pieces probably going to be ugly. Lee, I hope I'm wrong. But we don't have McLean out. We don't have Young out. He's the default for the set pieces, will be Lee. And then the big question, the striker partnership, it's Mullen and Palmer going to run, which I'm a fan of. Palmer hasn't lost when he started. The team hasn't lost when they've started. And goals for are one up compared to otherwise, compared to when he's out of the lineup. Bringing in then their lineup, unchanged for them after the season or after the last game. And I did have the stats up here. The one that's interesting to me, their goalkeeper Cartwright, the young guy drew in about halfway through the season, 18th game, 19th game of the year, and he's been their keeper since. Slightly better goals against than Eastwood, but not really anything to sniff at. The one that is most interesting to me is Obikwu up at the front. Trinidadian, they're going to be your enemies and mine. The young guy, 19 years of age, this is going to be his fifth start. He's got 2 goals in his 9 games that he's played. The reason I say Trinidad and the rivalry, Trinidad's playing Canada for the game at 1:00. He didn't make their lineup, so he'll be available for this one. And necessary because when you go through their lineup, no Danny Rose, he's got 12 goals. Isa is not even on the bench. He's the only change off the substitute was Ibo. That's not Mo, that's his brother Abo. He was removed, so no Abo Isa. So you're looking at Wilson as their top goal scorer, 6 goals on the season. So they've stripped themselves of goals, injury or otherwise. Knock on wood, touch everything you need to ignore everything I'm about to say. But they've pulled 21 goals out of their roster through injury or otherwise. They'll be without them today in any event, and they'll be looking for the young guy to figure it out. This game I was only talking about, but I did see the Wrexham game listed. I can bring up DAZN right now on my app, and I'll check on the app to see if it's faster as to where we are with this one. I don't have Mr. Griffiths, so I'm going to go with the one that's got the least amount of lag. But if I go into Wrexham, I assumed that it wasn't going to be, and it's not available. It did say that it was available, but it was just giving me the scores. But coming up, Wrexham Mansfield. So that's the game to come up next week. So interesting that we'll be. So no, it may not be on ESPN. I may be wrong there, but it's worth double checking to see if you've got it available, because it was listing on mine earlier, which is odd. So feel free to double check. And if you are able to get it on ESPN Plus, let me know, because they usually pick up more games than DAZN does. And so we'll move forward with that. The stats for this one, let's bring those ones up just to bring the comparisons in. So here we go. Wrexham versus Grimsby, more fascinated with them. Our numbers have stayed pretty consistent all the way through. We get a lot of shots on goal. We don't get a lot of our percentage of completion, goals per shots on goal is pretty low. They're actually better than us. Their statistics look as though they're a counter-punching team. You'll see that they've got their accurate crosses are certainly up there at 8th overall, and their long balls are up there at 28.5 per match, which when you compare to other teams we've played that have done that counter-attacking play, that looks to be statistically what we can anticipate, and that's largely what's been talked about. So expect us to own on the possession, us to be looking to stir the drink, us asking the questions, and them coming at us in the counterattack is what I expect. I don't know what else to take away from those statistics other than that. Maybe their save percentage. The starting goaltender Cartwright does have 63.7%, not that much higher than what their statistical average is for the team, but they're a team that struggles to keep the ball out if you're able to get lots of shots on. Let's hope that happens. Interestingly enough, for me, is probably the next statistic that I bring up with their schedule. And I was talking about this with Matt earlier on one of his podcasts in the preview. You can see the form away, goals for, we're up in goals for, goals against. They allow a fair amount at 62, but they're inverted. We struggle away. Look at our goals for at home. We're 20th overall in the league with 19 goals 4 away from the racecourse. They allow a lot of goals at home. They allow 37 goals against at home. That puts them 23rd in the league. So you've got a team that's struggling to score away and a team that's struggling to keep the ball out of the net at home. Something's got to give. Something has to give. And I don't know exactly what that'll be, but that one, the fascinating stat for there, you can see their form. They've taken some scalps, as everybody sort of has. They've beaten the Dons at home. And they've had some really crappy performances at home, getting absolutely blitzed by Doncaster and others. 3-4 goals allowed. So there's going to be a bit of a battle. And you guys can tell me what your score predictions are in a moment, or do it now. Feel free, because you've got a team that's not scoring away and a team that's allowing a lot of goals at home. To me, looking at the fact that they've got nobody I'm going to call a clean sheet. So the question is, are we going to score one? And to me, that's the question. I think we may only need one starting at 0 minute to take this one. Surely to God, we don't go 3 games in a row without scoring a freaking goal, right? It says March 16th. Where does it say March 16th? Is it on the graphic? Did I stuff the graphic up when we logged in? If I did, that's my fault, and I'm not going to have a chance to fix it. I won't worry about it when we're this close to kickoff. My apologies if I did. I don't know where else. Where does it say March 16th on the... I don't know. I don't know where it says it. The referee for this one, Ollie Yates, experienced his debut out of the 67 officials now that have done a League 2 game. He is the 4th most experienced as far as when he started. We saw him back in the Colchester match. That was a 2-1 win for us. He's done 13 games total. That's the 2nd most in the league. So we've got an experienced guy who has 3.31 goals per game that he allows. You look along the statistics, he's happy with his Reds. 0.38, that's the 7th highest out of 67. Doesn't necessarily give a lot of fouls, but when he does, he looks to cards. So if you see a foul, get a little nervous, because he usually follows up those fouls by throwing out the cards. His pens, he's above the statistical average, 14th overall as the players are coming out here, and Grimsby mascots are running through, doing their thing, trying to get the crowd pumped up as we get ready to go for this one. Those are the statistics. Let me know your predictions on this one, because I'm going to have to pull that one out. Let me, what am I doing here? I'm going to just pull up one more feature to be able to add some polls. That's definitely a thought, to look at things from a certain point in time. I don't have that option with the one I've been using, so I was going to look around for it, but I put together the details as they are for the season, because that's what's easily and readily available for me, where I can get everything that I want. But you're right, things do change over time. Really, things average out over time. Mike says big Wrexham performance, 4-0. Hugo highlighting the Finnish win for Wales. They've got Poland on Tuesday to draw into the Euros. Canada looking to get into Copa America at 1:00. If you're bored and you want to watch that one, we should be favorites. Osario's out, but everybody else is ready and available. And a new goalkeeper as that gets handed over, as they're talking at midfield and getting ready to go. And I'm going to see if I can get a poll. Just putting in the options here as we're getting close to. And I don't have Mark in my headset. I'm stuck with whoever's doing this one. This will Oh, and it might not be him because this is I Follow Wrexham all over the world. So I've got a different broadcaster doing it for this one. But go ahead, add your predictions as we get ready to go. Mullins on the ball, and I am excited for this one. Let's just take 3 points. We've been helped by Colchester. We don't want to have to worry about the MK Don Stockport game that's going to follow this one. We're underway. Let me know where you're watching, because I know some of you might be watching on different international streams. If I'm ahead or behind, although I can't really swap to DAZN, but I'm curious. As I've always said, if you've never been here before, no spoilers. So it takes some time for latency to get back to you guys. So let's not ruin it for everybody by putting out any spoilers. And I've got to bring up the rotating, as we've got it. Boyle in the back, looking for Mendy up the left-hand side with a long ball, and it doesn't get there. Finds a Grimsby head. We're wearing the Reds today, and that was a late challenge. Not given on the foul, so it's going to be a Wrexham throw-in, and a talking to from the referee. Doesn't call a lot of fouls, but when he does, he gives the cards. Fits the script, because there was questions there whether that was a foul, and Boyle's got it on the sideline and looking to throw it in. Bad throw, giveaway. Grimsby with it. Moving forward, Boyle has to get back, and he's just going to leak that out for a throw-in. I didn't see it. Broadcasters say it slipped out of his hand when he threw it, so that it ended up getting nicked by Grimsby, pushed down the entirety of the field. Boyle has to scramble back, and the only thing he can do is just make sure it gets safe. And this is going to be a nightmare trying to read these jerseys, as this is farm for Grimsby, looking to do a long throw, or at least he's lined up far enough back to do it. There's his long throw into the box, cleared out, and it's being chased down. Seeing those red numbers on the back of their black and white jerseys is going to prove to be a nightmare. And it's going to be a Grimsby throw-in on the right-hand side. Slow to start. Crawley already up 1-0 on Tranmere. The reason I included Crawley is of the games that are playing, because the Stockport's playing the Dons. Mansfield's already done. They're the next up in the table. Long throw. That was an exceptionally long throw. Made it all the way in, and it's cleared out as we are under pressure 2 minutes in, but nothing really close to goal. Just possession all in about 25 yards to goal or closer. Morning, Rob S. Morning, Swirly. Starts slow and all the way through to Ogonko, just collects it in the breadbasket. You know, they say we start slow, but we're the only team who hasn't lost when we score first. Knock on wood, touch everything that's important to you, and make sure that we don't do the jinx. Ogonko thumps it, plays it down the pitch. First time we've looked for possession in their half, and we're not going to get it. Headed forward, O'Connor has it, and now are we going to get possession in their half? No. Bolton not able to draw in, back to the center backs, pushed forward, and it's a long chase on. Ball's still there, and trying to get there. Palmer looking to hold up, Mullen up there chasing. That one was all Mulls, and he couldn't end up securing it. And it's cleared back down. A little bit scrambly, a little bit ugly. Denise, how are you? Yeah, Swirly, I guess that's the question, and I don't have that stat. As Wimbledon goes up on Crewe, that's good news, although Wimbledon, to be fair, not that far off. They're certainly in the playoff hunt. Lots of teams in the playoff hunt. Even Notts, with their win, look to be drawing back in, which is probably a good thing, because they've got that important game, the extra one that's going to be played against Stockport. Shepherd behind. Goal kick. And Ogonko has it. Can't see the Wrexham fans, but can hear them, which is beautiful. So we'll take a Wimbledon win, knock Crewe down. If Matt's joining us, we'll be a little bit frustrated 3-4 minutes in. Clueworth beaten, but he recovers well, gets back, beats the man, moves it forward. Palmer looks to settle down possession, gets it to Bolton, who advances it. I would like to see some more patience with the ball. Bring some more patience with the ball, settle it down. Tharn cleared that one out. We'll get a throw on their side of halfway. Still waiting for the throw. They'd make the playoffs for sure. Kim's already bringing the gold, but I'm hoping they've got something to play for. It's those mid-table teams that can't move up and can't move down that I'm concerned about. Bolton with it, gets it to O'Connor, off his knee, off his foot, loses control. Grimsby collects. Are they going to be able to clear? No. Cannon comes and nicks it right in the middle of the pitch, and he's moving forward. Right-footed, scores! Aha! Fire it up, Mr. Cannon. I wish I had a song for you. I don't have one. The only thing I can do is bring up... But Andy Cannon collects it out of the right-hand side, and I think he was surprised with how much space he had. He moved the ball forward, advances it, and nobody came to him. He gets close enough just outside the 18-yard box, moves over to the right, and just hammers it into the left-hand side. We go up 1-0. Let's hope, knock on wood, and all that stuff, the statistics that are there. We've never lost when we've gone up so far this year. 1-0, good guys. Put it up. Oh, and I put it up on the wrong side. There we go. Andy Cannon collects, pushes it past the first guy. Nobody comes to him, so he moves it to the right and just splits the defender. Tharn late getting out to him. Ha 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 ha. 1-0, good guys. The Palmer effect, Carolyn. The Palmer effect. You're absolutely right. There's just magic in the club for whatever reason. And I said before, knock on wood, I'm hoping that 1 is enough. This is a team, they've only scored 19. Is that right? Let's bring that stat up one more time. Sorry, they've only scored 29. We've scored 19. Only scored 29 all season long at home. They've been struggling sort of as of late at home. And there's a foul. Grimsby's going to get the free kick. It feels good 6 minutes in. So far, it's been a beautiful day. Let's keep this thing going. Nice shot, nice goal. Wrexham with an early goal. Emily, that goes, Brendan's comment goes to your earlier comment. Are we dreaming? We actually got one early. Halfway to the 0-2 call. John had the Mansfield score right. He's on fire. Need that optimism, John. Always a pleasure having you here. Must have been in the league then. I saw the graphic. I didn't go and double check it, but it must have been just in the league. Ogonkwo has it. He's collected. He's going for the goal kick, and the Wrexham fans, you can hear him echoing in the background. Let's look at Newport doing us a favor and bringing Barrow back, and let's just keep this day running where everybody around us drops points, right? Knock on everything. Let's go. Ogonkwo taking his time, man. Are we wasting already? Never. But that was a ridiculously long time for him to put his right foot through the ball and to get it to the midfield stripe, where Palmer's going to look for control. It bounces off a Grimsby player. And that was Palmer doing his magic and what he does, putting pressure on bodies, and somebody made a mistake and we'll get a throw in. Shots need to be updated. Indeed. I haven't gone to FOTMob yet. Let's do that so I can update. The nice thing about DAZN is they do it automatically. It just sits on the screen. It's almost like a cheat code. Thrown in, given away. Grimsby has it, draws it back into their center backs and all the way back to their keeper. Cartwright with a weird little kick out to the other center back, and away we go. Grimsby with it. 18 yards stolen. Boyle threw it up the pitch, and then it was given away, and now they're back looking along the goal line, edge of the area, right-hand side, flicked in, headed away. Lee with it at the box, shout for the handball, but nothing given, and it's just cleared out to the midfield where Palmer goes racing for it before it ends up coming back the other way. Yeah, it could be. Usually good for one a game is the goal scorer. Cannon moves forward, gets it over to Palmer on the right-hand side. A shout is there for offside. Does the flag go up? It doesn't. It's crossed from the corner way too far, but Mendy's going to collect it on the left-hand side. Mendy outside the box, looking to dance, right? Does he go left? He goes left. Here comes the cross, pushes it forward, goal line. He kept it in, but couldn't get anything on it. Sort of a wasted play, and Grimsby collects it, and here they come. Boyle. And that's got to be Obikwu on the right-hand side, and Grimsby has it over on the left. Everybody racing back to find form, and as it punched backwards, will have some time to do that, and everybody sort of settles into position. Thompson over to the right as I start to learn the players' names for Grimsby without being able to see their numbers because I'm only able to see their jerseys. Who designed these things? What about my needs as a viewer? Crawley up 2-0. Tranmere, they already played their cup game, appears. And so their season over. Unlikely to go down, unlikely to make the playoffs. And so they're sitting on it. Hugh over on the left-hand side. He's dancing up against Cannon. He draws back, and he's going to pull it all the way back to Rogers over on the left-hand side, who gets it to Tharn in the middle. Rogers, blonde hair, Tharn, brunette. We'll get this figured out without the numbers and figure it all out. Don't tease me with the good news, Kim. Don't tease me with the good news. I would be shocked. That would be something. If somebody put money on that and they won, I would give them mass amounts of credits for having the chutzpah to get that one out there and stake money on it. Passing, it's why is the passing always so low percentage-wise early on? 56% for us. Everybody getting used to it. Need to do better on warm-ups as Boyle just gives away on the long ball, but it's able to collect the return, and he tries to advance it forward, gets thumped a bit but it plays around, and this a Mendy back to O'Connor, and O'Connor pushed it too far wide. He's a little bit rusty. TOC's got to bang the rust out. And it'll be a Grimsby throw in on the left-hand side. That looks like malarkey. Flicks it up, and that's going to be a throw in for us at the midfield stripe. Scrambly play, but we will take it. Anytime the time clicks and you're in the lead and the other side's not able to find any form and they're batting the ball around, you'll take it. Mendy throws it into Lee. Lee switches on, gets it over to Cleworth. Cleworth looking, thought Bolton was going to go. Bolton didn't go, and so that's a giveaway. And that's going to be, well, they let it go all the way out for a goal kick as Cartwright collects. We'll take it, Anastasia. Throwing the numbers out there, you can see lots of 1 goals, so 2 goals. I just think it's a team that's going to be struggling. That's a hold. Wow. TOC grabbed the back of his jersey, and they didn't give a foul there. The story from the referee continues as Boyle thumps it up in the air, and Palmer's trying to collect it. Mendy. OC played it back to Mendy and too hard, and it goes out. TOC's banging out the rust for sure on this one. Howdy, Sam from Brisbane. Nice to see the Aussies drawn in on this one as we take it in. And man, these jerseys. That's going to be malarkey on that side, gets it in. Grimsby with it in the middle of the pitch, and it's chipped up into the air. Malarkey draws it back. Got to be Tharm back there. The center backs are the easiest ones to figure out because they're just touching it with in the back. Rogers over on the left-hand side, advancing to past the midfield stripe. Still don't like, and it's odd. It's against the script with the Grimsby possession. They're up to 53%. They're usually one of the lower teams on possession stats, but they're sitting with it as Ogonkwo goes to collect the ball, grabs it, and makes his way slowly out to the pitch. I was surprised he started, but he's better form. The 2 reasons I thought Young was going to go in was because set pieces, we needed somebody with no McLean and Lee struggling, and 2 because of the rust. But I trust he's been so solid all year that you have to trust him as Bolton's going to have it on the right-hand side. Nice little flick out to him, and he's taking on his man, draws towards the front center of the pitch, gets it to Cannon. He's going to go over to the right-hand side. Bolton cycles around him and says, give it to me. I'm here. He gets it. Nice little pass by, and it's a shot. Nice little pass by Cannon on the flick back as Crewe says, we're not out of this one. They give up the early one, but they draw back in. Adam from Chicago, how are you? And thanks, Brendan, for making sure everybody's welcome and feeling in. W&G and Brendan, lots of love to those two for all the work that they do. And then also to the members down on the bottom and those donating. Ogonkwo collects it on a long kick down and just taking his time advancing it out. If you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, if you want to join the chat, you got to hit the subscribe button. The other thing is if you're looking to do something, join the channel and gift out some memberships if you want to. I'd rather that than the super chats, just because the super chats are nice. I mean, it's money, but if you want to support, do that. More importantly, hit the like button down below and let the universe know that we're out here, as that's got to be offside. The flag doesn't go up, so we're going to collect it. Lee grabs it, gets it to Mullen, flicks it up to Palmer. Goalkeeper gets there first. Cartwright scrambling out. I thought that was offside, but hey, I will take it. I watched half of it, but I fell asleep or didn't wake up, didn't fall asleep, didn't wake up for the first half of it. The question that every parent has to ask. You can identify who the parents are because we're stuck with Bluey and our kids picking up Australian accents. As Mullen, left-hand side, 18-yard box. The fans are booing, right-footed, blocked up in the air. O'Connor, bad first touch, and then he gets pushed over. And that's Obiku all the way back, but he loses it. And O'Connell advancing forward, flicks it up to Lee, splits the difference, and the gap is there. And then Cartwright launches it, and it goes way out. Oh, it doesn't go out. Was that the wind that kept that in? That looked like that was certainly going way up and way out. 19-year-old Obiku coming back is to give some support for Grimsby. I can't tell who those numbers are. Hume is playing in the midfield and going to the left. All right. And he gives it up, and Grimsby, middle of the nice little challenge there by Bolton to free it up, and Lee collects it, but we're going to lose the ball and give it away as Tharn comes forward. It's a mass scramble in the middle of the pitch. Big tackle. Grimsby comes out with it. Holohan. Number 8. That was a bad flat cross, and Boyle was the only one there, but he heads it away. No foul given. No point flopping in this one unless it's egregious, right? Like the referee is just not given anything. Anything. Up to 61% on the passing, the possession now 53% in us as we start to change things over. W&G with the update there. Mullen able to steal the ball, keep it, challenged, and then he's drawn back, and no foul given. As long as this is consistent, I'm okay with this. Like, especially in a 1-0 game where we're up, let the challenges roll, but just don't change your form, referee, before the end of this one. Ollie Yates, is that the name that we're going with? Ollie Yates. Right-hand side. Malarkey advances it forward. Cross, it's there. It's in the middle of the area, and the Grimsby player, I believe that to be Wilson, just sort of stubs himself and doesn't get a shot away. And now it's all the way back to the back line as Grimsby looks to collect through Tharm. Over to Malarkey, I'm assuming. Oh, that's 50, and that's Clifton. And a giveaway that Lee just happily collects, gets it back to Boyle, who puts it back to Lee as we're looking to advance the ball without the thump. And Boyle says, no, I'm just going to get the clear. So there's a clear over to the far side, left side, but it's given away, and Grimsby has it. The challenges have been there. Our shape is fine. There's nothing defensive, like really threatening, but we're just sitting comfortably in our shape, waiting. Howdy, Thomas. Nice to see you. Old-time footy. Old-time hockey. If you ever want to watch a movie, Slapshot, you want to see some good old-time hockey, it's a good one. Is that one got kicked out by Grimsby in a giveaway, and we'll finally get some position back on their mistake. I hope you're right, Ignacio, that we are back. Let's stay into it. It's 1 a.m. Bluey's asleep in her kennel. Nor, as my kids would say, being influenced by a British and a Canadian accent, but they say nor with an Aussie accent, thanks to Bluey. The curse. Barnett's got the boot on, so he can't go anywhere. Where are we going to start him? I missed the first original comment as to where we'd start him. John, I'm glad you got in. Blundell Park, home 20 minutes in, 1-0 us. Grimsby with the ball again, trying to keep it in. Right, well done by Obiku to keep that in. Tried to get it to Wilson, but couldn't. And Andy Cannon grabs it. And hey, we've got a foul, and that was an obvious one. Clipped him in. Foiling up, coach. Old-time hockey. My favorite one is still the goalkeeper speaking to himself after facing like how many shots, losing his mind. The Hanson brothers. Where was I born? Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. December 18th, 77. Colder than bugger. Blizzard on. All sorts of magic. 40 below Celsius. Mendy. Oh, that's a handball. But nobody shouted for it. Am I seeing things? But in any event, it was not, I mean, it was going to be 25 yards out, not really a threat, Grimsby with it, but that's fine. And they turn it over, and it's back to us as Palmer tries to play it to Mendy, but it gets knocked down. O'Connor tries to get it to Mendy, and it gets nicked. Having a little bit of struggle with that connection from our midfield up to the final third again, just looking for. The Mighty Ducks is not the greatest movie of all time. That's got to be Youngblood and or Slapshot. You can call either one, but then maybe I'm just showing my age as Mendy collects it defensively and looks to try and clear it, gives it away, and they're going to get a throw basically 17 yards away from the goal line. Yeah, JJ's he's been hot and cold though. There's been times where he's been exceptional. I don't know. Listening to the end song, the national anthem's playing. Oh, good stuff. The club. Thanks, Kip. I'm going to write that one down. That's something for me to watch. That one's thrown in, and Boyle clears it, and it gets out, and Grimsby's going to collect it, and they're bringing it back in. Obiku tries to maintain it, gets a bit of a push and a help there from Cleworth, and it goes out. The club. Is that what we called it? I mean, not really an AFL fan. I prefer my rugby league as to the sports that you guys do down there, but, you know, if Cryptic's irking in the background, I don't want to upset him by saying rugby league is a superior product as Barrow draws up. Thank you, W&G, for that. And Crawley draws up. In the games around us in the table, family in Alberta. I went to law school in Calgary, so relatively familiar with the South. Not American, so don't care. That's the answer about hockey movies. Why are we talking hockey movies? Wrexham, Wrexham's winning when nobody's nervous. We're having a good time talking about sports movies as Boyle. That's a bad clearance. Swung the right foot, got it up in the air, just kind of sort of traveled along the length of the penalty area, and Grimsby able to collect it on the other side as they backdoor, but Bolton a little slow to get over there, but the kick too far. And Hume not able to get over there and grab that. How sad is it that the only way I can figure out their numbers is the close-ups where I have to look at their shorts? Staring at men's shorts all day. Right now, the Oilers, because they're competitive, but historically, it's always got to be Calgary because I went to law school there, and so I had to deal with Flames fans more than Oilers fans. So I know more Flames fans than Oilers fans, so they irk me more. I guess that means I don't like my friends. Writing down the club the same way Captain America writes down pop culture he missed while frozen. Go Caps. Boyle flipped over. The ball's loose. Ogonkwo comes out and collects the ball. Thank you very much from taking a ball away from danger as the defense was scrambling behind to try and catch that. Cutting edge. I don't think I've seen that one. How about Paperback Hero, filmed in my hometown back in the 70s? It's garbage. Don't watch it. Is it a Paperback Hero? I think that's what it's called. Ryan says cutting edge. Yes, two shots. We're not connecting. They're not connecting. Different approach towards the two goals. Watching this one, we've been trying to be direct and just not able to connect through the midfield up to our forward third. Then we're settling back. They're pressing a little bit more as they go right by TOC. Deflection. That's Obiku out there, kicks it out to the left-hand side. Grimsby with it. I don't like this because this is with some form. Out to Obiku, and it's cleared away. And everybody's looking at everybody. A ball lost in the middle of the pitch, and they turn it around and go the other way. That's the garbage we don't want to see. But yes, two shots in the half. Nobody talking March Madness either. There's lots going on today. My God, it's a sports day. Baseball's about to start. The spring. Wind down the winter sports. Fire up the spring sports. Let's get into it. Long throw. Short post and cleared off the boot by O'Connell, and it's just put out just about 5 yards further down the pitch. 88 Olympics. That was a story. I actually have memories of that, like, you know, not from the program, but being one province over. Grimsby man behind goal. No brackets left. And here come everybody. Iowa on ISU. Are you allowed to cheer for Iowa State and Iowa at the same time? Is that not like cheering for Wrexham and Chester at the same time? O'Connell grabs it, plays it down the left side. Boyle with it. Advancing things forward. Flipped up in the air. That long ball just, we're searching for an option because we haven't been able to connect when going through the floor. So now we're hoofing the ball over as we're trying to scramble and figure things out. Paperback Hero, I'm pretty sure was filmed in Delisle, Saskatchewan, where I grew up. I'm just going to double check that. I've tried to watch it about 5 times and I never get through it. Paperback Hero. Yeah, filmed in Delisle, Saskatchewan. That's my hometown. Town of 882. Okay. Hey, I'm not going to question. You support who you want to support. I just thought, like, for me, I'm a Michigan fan, and I could never cheer for the Spartans. Bolton, right-hand side, heads it. Nobody there. Just not able to frame up and maintain possession and let the people come forward. Carolyn, thanks for joining us. Supporter jumping in. If you want this new little tag, there's a join button down below. If you want to gift them out, you can do that too. Feel free to share the love because we've got 27 members and growing. 99 cents a month. Grimsby with it. Moves it forward. Lee flicks it up over top. And a reminder. Ogie Oglethorpe. Man, I mentioned Slapshot and everybody's all over it today. If you haven't watched it, you're going to have to, as we're going to get a throw in from the right-hand side. Cannon has it, flips it up to Bolton over towards the goal line. Can he get there? He is able to save it. No, the flag goes up, and so it's going to go for a goal kick. Jesus. And when you're wondering about great communities, things I didn't anticipate, to have Delisle, Saskatchewan, and Brisbane, Australia in the same conversation. I'm going to have to shut down some windows here. Just give me a second. Let's see if that fixes a bit of the lag. No, they did get the foul on that one. I thought that was going to be no foul given again, and another indication from this official that he's not going to call the fouls, but he gives that one. Grimsby from about 35 yards out, going to have an opportunity here. Not a first shot on goal, but it has been Grimsby possession since we've scored. It's been Grimsby possession, but nothing threatening at all. In fact, I don't think, to go back, they've had a shot on goal. Nothing. And so you'll take this as a game of having somebody possess the ball and not be able to make a threat with it. But I would still like to see us connect. Long thrown in. Ogonkwo drops it, picks it back up. Still slow, eh? All right. I'm hoping I'm back now. I apologize for that. Too many windows open from the last match as that one comes forward by Grimsby on the right-hand side. Obiquo grabs it a little bit far behind his player, but it's collected again, and here comes Grimsby down the left-hand side, looking to cross that in, and it's blocked, and it goes out, and it's going to be a throw from about 5 yards from the touchline. Bolton able to get his butt end on that one, throwing it out there. Yeah, it's a messy, scrambly game. Our passing along the back is fine. It's just when we try to get it forward, we're not able to. And why? What's causing this mass random rendering issue? Tharm with it, long throw, near post, headed up, and that will be their first shot. Ogonkwo takes an easy header, and he's throwing it down, and it's missed by the defender. Mullins there. He's got to hold up for some support, and he's not able to. You know what? We're just not able to break them down. Not able to break them down. Argentina, I'm hoping to see you guys in the Copa America with Canada if we can get our win tonight. I'm going to close this window down and see what we do. Holohan in the middle. He's got Hume over there with him. It's brought in by Hume, able to be flicked up in the air by Boyle. Mendy's able to rescue it. Gets it to TOC, who misses the ball. Tom, you're making me nervous, man. If we're looking for halftime subs, you've got to be able to go and grab TOC. As Palmer just says, fine, nobody wants to maintain possession. I'm going to try and run the length of the pitch. Gives it away. But that's a strategy. That's a strategy. You can't advance it with your feet through passing. Just run the damn thing. Palmer like a fullback busting through the line, just pushing the ball forward and kicking it out there. Alex, how are you? Nice to see you. Despair in Nottingham again. Salford goes up 1-0. I need Notts to draw into the playoff competition to give two craps for the rest of their games, because I'm looking to them to be able to steal points down towards the end of the year. Anastasia, 100% with you. Possession, 61%. It's given away there. Bolton with it. Plays to Mullen over on the right-hand side. He draws it out to TOC. Knocks it down. There's the boot. And TOC flicks it way over the goal. 3 shots to 2. You'll take that. Canada's women's team is one of the best in the world. Reigning Olympic champions, the Canadian women. But then they've been having a fight. Canada Soccer's into a bit of a governance issue, both with the men and the women. And so both teams have hit a bit of a downward spiral, protesting, petitioning, all that sort of stuff regarding money and breakdown. As Boyle in that tackle comes out with it hits Mendy, and Boyle gets himself up and grabs it again and flicks it forward. This is where build the guys forward. Everybody moving forward. They draw it back to Cleworth. He gets it to Bolton. Cleworth continues the run. He's not giving it. Bolton dances around his man all the way forward. He's going to take it to the corner flag. He's got 3 guys in the pace on display. Shoulder charge. Ref hasn't been calling that one. He's not going to there. Cannon with a bullet from outside the area just ran it forward. Nobody came out to attack him. And when Tharm finally came out, he was able to split it past and put it on the left-hand side. Here's Mendy with it, left-hand side to the byline. He's not able to get it forward. It's just flicked in the air, though. And Palmer says, well, maybe I can play this, heads it backwards, and Mendy's got it in the box and loses it to a Grimsby player. Scrambly. And Grimsby, that's a foul. And is that a yellow? Nope. Lazy challenge and a late late leg in by Lee. Took his man out. I wouldn't say nervy. I'm not nervous. It's blasé. It's nothingness. It is a world of missed passes. 54% for us, 70% for them. Missed passes by us and no offense by them. They've had one quasi, was that on target, the header? And that's about it. Mendy hasn't looked particularly good. TOC's looked really, really, really ugly. And yeah, I don't know, Kim. For me, it's not getting them forward. I thought they've come back to try and land support. As Grimsby gets it into the area and they beat Mendy, Boyle comes back with the rescue block, and that's going to go out for a corner. That was maybe the most threatening play, despite having that header on target. As that was, they had numbers around them, and that was Holohan who had it, and Boyle had to come and save the day. Yeah, I thought that was a potential yellow on Lee. I don't know if others thought the same. Stuck the leg out there early, caught him in the thighs, and here comes a left-footed in-swinger by Hume from the right side. It's in, it's cleared out. It was flat, but it was easily collected and headed out, and here comes a Grimsby cross. Misses two players, and Mullen comes back just to kind of save it from danger. Lee dances, Mullen collects. The counter is on. Cannon's joining the attack. TOC, is he going to find it does, and it's in! Cannon with two! Cannon with two on a beautiful counter attack, and TOC found the magic, found the form when he needed to, and gave a perfect little pass over top, and it is 2-0. 2-0. 2-0, let's go. I have got no Cannon chant, so no Cannon video to make. Cannon's making me feel bad for questioning where he was at. I was suggesting that he might have to fall out, but that was beautiful by Mullen to start that one in the other end. Gets it back. It gets pushed out to the right-hand side, and Bolton and Cannon play a nice little interplay. And Cannon continues his run, and Bolton just says, here you go. So Mullen with the flick, he finds Bolton out there, TOC. Tom O'Connor on the right-hand side, he runs it forward, and Cannon just goes on the run. He finds him in the box, and just one touch straight off the ground, punches it in. That was a beautiful pass, and right over the top of Cartwright. Probably went down too early. I don't know what he was doing there, but exactly where he was where Cannon put the ball. Gorgeous stuff. Gorgeous stuff. Hey, we can counterattack. Maybe we should sit back and play possum a little bit more. Although there's running forward and mass possession and trying to get it. That was a blast and well placed. I do question Cartwright sort of let the team down, I think, there with those says 0. Cannon getting a chat and two from the referee. Go on, lineman. See, somebody needs that. Take a wimmo. Nobody wants to hear me sing. In the race course, the mighty race course, the lion scores tonight. I don't know. Come up with something. I'm not Tim from Fearless in Devotion. Or you could just do the Lion King stuff and have somebody do that. Hey, mama mishka, and do that, and then throw up something in for Cannon. That'd be fun to hear a whole bunch of people try and chant that one. Counter is far easier than the attack. I get it. You just don't want to give up chances. It's sort of fortunate for us that Grimsby struggles up front as Obiko tries to maintain possession, and it goes over on the boot of O'Connell and flips the other way. Shout for the handball, but I don't know if that hit the hand, actually. I mean, the physics of it, you can usually tell how the ball deflects and whether that was a chest or otherwise. But that was the perfect description there from Rod. Combination from Mullen to TOC, blasting down the right wing. Gets it over to Cannon. One swipe of the right foot, and we go up 2-0. I think you got to take the nylons, don't you? The Lion sleeps tonight. I kind of like that one. In the race course, the mighty race course, the Lion scores tonight. Cannon scores tonight. You could do that, any of that. We on my way. I'm feeling it. It's a beautiful day as Ogonko has the ball, 40th minute. We're almost through the first half here in a glorious start to this one. Long ball from Ogonkwo. Mullen lays back to see if it's going to come to him, and it does get mistouched, but they're not able to maintain. We need a hero. That's a good one. It has to be something. And as soon as we get one, I will grab and make videos, and we will do our thing. Do I do the Hayden or the Barney videos just so that we can hear something playing? Cannon is a cannon. No, because I can't have Arsenal terms. And I don't think a lot of other people could either. Why would we want to call them Gunner? Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room? I don't know. There's going to be lots of discussions over this one after not having a 2-goal lead, as I'm completely distracted. And if anybody's trying to understand what's happening in the game, nothing has changed. And that's why we're having so much fun, is because the game itself, other than those 2 goals, has not been good. It has been us trying to maintain possession in the midfield and advancing the ball forward and failing. And it has been Grimsby with more possession, just bouncing around on the outside without ever getting it into a threatening area. Free kick goes in. Palmer's into battle in the 18-yard box. And is that going to go out of play for a throw? No, it's just pushed down to Cannon on 18-yard box. Does he want to add an assist? No, he gives it to Bolton. Bolton takes 2 guys, gets it back to Cannon, had a gap, could have taken it. Cleworth cross into the box. It's knocked down. Mendy deflected. Mullen scores. Keep it going. What the hell is going on? Mendy with the shot. He's lifting the back and showing it up as we go up 3-0. Find the away form, lads, they say. Do a little magic. So Mendy has that. It landed into his lap. He hammers it. It gets deflected up in the air, lands right to Mullen, who just turns and pots it. And that means we need this. So that was Farm with the horrible clear. I thought it was a deflection, but it was Mendy muffed it, hit it into the ground. Farm has an opportunity to hammer it out, doesn't. And Mullen collects it and just ends up potting this. And I'm at the half going to have to write down how the hell all of these went in, because we're looking to fill the net. We're looking to fill the net. There we go. Write them all down. Three 0, guys, gals. What's going on? We're way up. Grimsby making us look like the world's best team, Matt. I think it's. Let's get into the chat here. Hey, Rob, thanks, man. It's the community. I've got so many people helping out here. W&G helping out with the scores. We're getting helped out in the Crewe game, but not elsewhere. The Mansfield one certainly helped. And we'll be here for a while. Lots of intelligent people contributing in the chat, and I just get to chat football and keep it going. I don't know what's happening, Ignacio. 3-0 for the good guys at 41% possession. It's like we've decided, screw the script. Let's just roll on. 6 shots to 3. And you look, 59% possession, 60% possession, and only 3 shots. The shape has been there. Even when desperate, we're able to get it out. As Palmer just stands his ground and Cannon collects it. Mullen with the spin. He's got space. Long shot and Cartwright. Well selected by Mullen. Knows that he doesn't have the pace there with the guys coming after him, that he's got to end up taking a shot. He only had Mendy over on the opposite side. So he just takes a crack from distance. And away we go. Are we allowed to change the poll? No. I can change the poll, but not your ability to answer. I'll take another poll question if somebody can put it out there. Mike, I'm all for that thought is Grimsby advances it down, turns it over, and Mendy just grabs it and clears it down. Shouldn't have a lot of extra time. 2 minutes? I don't think it's been any injury time. It's just been the goals, no subs. 3 games of association football in the league, and then the other match, Canada versus Trinidad, with the opportunity to make it into the Copa America, into the group with Argentina and Peru and Chile. And so that one's on tonight to fill that last spot, and it better be us. We're the massive favorites. God, can it be this good of a day? Next goal scorer. That's the other one, Brendan. We'll go with that. Who else scores today? Who do I want to score? I haven't played Ollies in a long time, so I'll take an Ollie goal. Work commitments cursing me on a Saturday, and that's fine. I'll deal with that later. I'm all for Marriott getting out there. I think Canada makes it a better cup, and if we get in, I actually think we can challenge Peru and Chile. I'm not going to even – I mean, I'll watch the Argentina game, but it's not going to be pretty. Clipped onto the ground by Wrexham. Grimsby just – it's the same – it's the same mess. Grimsby trying to push forward and battering around her in the 25 yards or the corner of the pitch and not able to get it in, as they do here. 18-yard box, and Ogonkwo gets his save. Because we didn't have Cannon, let's play this one.
After a cup. On loan from Arsenal.
I clicked the wrong one. Well, I won't play that again. I won't do that again. I'll use the manual. Wasn't even a big save, but it's the closest one we've got to a big save. So you got to give it to him as the ball just getting battered about in the midfield, back and forth. And Cannon's going to come up with it on the right-hand side. And he gets it up to Mullen, and he back heel over to Bolton. And Bolton's in the middle of the pitch, gets it back to Mullen, right-hand side. Flat, low cross off the ground, just cleared out as far as Cannon. Cannon's going to get the switch over to Mendy. Mendy one touch to Palmer. Palmer, 18-yard box. He's going to flick it over to Mullen. Inside the box is drawn out to Cannon. Is he going to have a crack? No, he's going to cross it. Palmer heads it up to Mendy, and it's cleared. That was a little bit better. But yes, I think everybody's looking for the Marriott Mullen run out. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'll throw that one up there. Lee gets dispossessed. It's run over, and Cannon comes over, gets to the ball, shoulder challenge. Grimsby goes down, and this guy letting him play old-time football. Get the elbows up, maintain possession, and do your thing. Coming up to the end of the half, 30 minutes before we get there. Alex needs goals on the last scores on the last two. The second one was a brilliant little counterattack. Mullen ended up nicking the ball, pushes it out on the right-hand side to TOC, who's running down the right untouched. Cannon goes on pace to the left to give him an option, and as soon as he gets to the 18-yard box, TOC gives him a beautiful pass, and Cannon hammers it, one touch, and it just goes right over top of Cartwright. The second goal was a Mullen one, cross into the box. Mendy ends up collecting it, takes a shot, muffs it, goes off the ground. Tharn for Grimsby tries to clear it out of the 18-yard box, and he muffs it, and it lands right to Mullen, who just turns and fires and scores. 3-0. Those would be my descriptions, and I'm going to stop the clock. I'm going to set it up for the second half. I'm going to check my phone intermittently here because I've got a work thing that just came in, and I'll stay on while I'll do that, but I'll mute my mic, and then I'll be back to end up talking about everything else that's going on. Not a lot of flops. Why would you in this one? Crewe helping out. I will change the poll before I go. How's that? Oh boy. End the poll. Add a new one. Start Q&A, start a poll. Yeah, Brendan, I think you're right. Having to go back all the way back into the Wayback Machine. If somebody has the time to look that up, I'd be all for finding out when was the last time that Wrexham was up 3-0 at the half. What result do we want from the MK Dons Stockport match? Do we want a MK Dons win? Do we want a draw? Or do we want a Stockport win? Start the poll. I'll let you guys vote on that. I'm going to stay right here. I'm just going to hit the mute button and deal with a work thing, and then I will be right back. I'm going to have to deal with this, and so it won't be for very long, maybe about 5 minutes, but I'm just going to go and put on the we'll be right back, and I will be right back as we it never ends. Okay. Where's my be right back video? It's been such a long time since I've used it. Away. I will bring that right back. I'm here. I will not miss the second half. I will be back for sure, but I'm just going to show you if I can deal with this. All right, work commitments hopefully over for the remainder as we let's talk about that first half. Ignacio pulling the numbers there. Last time we were 3 up, February 18, 23. Everybody's looking for a draw tonight. I always end up favoring the draw. If we would have ended up losing this or end up losing this game, I may end up changing my perspective to a Stockport win over the MK Dons. The only reason I say that is because you want that difference between the third and fourth to be as large as possible. So, but in the circumstances, because MK has been playing so well and Stockport's been out of form, I would rather they just lose the points and we just worry about our own damn self. Worry about our own damn self. And that's it. Any halftime subs, I don't think that there's going to be any because it's Parky and Parky doesn't do halftime subs. But if there was one to make, I would potentially consider a TOC sub. The issue being that's really it for the midfield, right? If we bring up, let's go back to the right one here. Where is all of my stuff? Here we go. Fletcher is warming up, but if we bring this one forward and we look at the Wrexham lineup for the subs, if you bring Young in, you've really got nobody left in the midfield. So he's the only person. So I think Young's going to have to be a late substitution, if at all. Man, you talk about a change in circumstances. You have a game like we had last time against Tranmere. You look at Bradford City. You look at the recent Walsall, if you want to go all the way back to that far. And then you end up with a thumping 3-0, and you feel like you did after our 4-1 win against, was that Accrington? And the one that followed. We've been up hit and miss. But if we can grab full hold of this form, if we can maintain this as we push forward, then what a glorious position that we're going to be in. I want to look at the table. I always use that as makes me nervous. And the other thing I should probably do by now is because the Stockport game is going to be starting at 10:15 local time. I do want to put that onto Restream. The idea being that before the after 90 minutes, we'll grab the gang and have them come in. And I didn't do that once we decided let's do it as a mass sort of watch party of having those guys come in. But yes, Ruby, it was a massive day for Andy Cannon, and I'm glad that you're here and you're no longer sharing pictures on Twitter so I don't have to end up hating you, because I don't want to hate you, but just, oh man, the jealousy is real, especially because the Mansfield, the Doncaster game, those were the games I was planning to go for and head over to and not making it. And so it's tougher to see everything selling around it and people doing their thing. Yeah, I think, Hugo, it has to happen at some point, but then we have nobody else behind, right? And if somebody gets a knock or injured and now you're playing with somebody out of position or you got to change your formation, we're up 3-0. Let TOC bang the rest out and figure it out. And that might be the best way to go about it. I'm thinking, there's lots to discuss there for sure. And I'm going to try and set this one up. Let's get a couple of more and hurt some feelings. Hey, the goal difference matters, and we're not completely out of it as far as goal differential goes. I mean, with Mansfield, certainly we're not going to be putting in 19 over here in the stretch, but we're 7 away from Stockport, and that's like winning an extra half game, right? So I would love to have the opportunity where we can run that up and get it close to them, moving towards the end here. The end of the season, 7 left after this, as I'm going to have to do some quick editing on some thumbnails. Ruby, I enjoy it. This makes me this is as much my own satisfaction as is everybody else. I will say, if you do enjoy it, and that's for everybody here, new or otherwise, first off, subscribe if you hadn't, come join us in the chat. Number two, down below, there's that join button to grab a membership. I appreciate all the members that are running down over through the lineup. Go ahead and click that. And if you wanted, rather than donate, like, I appreciate those that do the tip button, but feel free to just throw up members to everybody, and then they get the opportunity. They get the nice little logo. They can use the emojis. They can do whatever they want, and their chats are in red instead of in gray. So yeehaw! That's what you get for 99 cents. That's all I got. And I think ads are running, but I'm gonna try and get this set up so I can bring the mob in and tell them that I'm here to sort of group watch, and we'll do that not through OBS but through Restream. And we'll see if we can join that one late, because that kickoff is an hour and 15 away, so it might be getting over there. Yeah, I'm all for that sub. And whether that's with Fletcher, whether that's to get a run with Mullen, just get the guy out. Just get him out there and have him have some minutes. He got his hat trick with the reserves against Salford at a 7-1 drubbing, through a hat trick in like the first 6 minutes or something ridiculous. And I'm just gonna. Somebody want to tell me who the home team is on the Stockport game? Is that one in Stockport? As we're getting close to getting ready and underway, as I'm panicking putting together the graphics here. Stockport's the home team. Thank you. Have to just roll with it because work was a nasty thing, so you get to see all of this stuff happen live as I'm going to throw up another graphic and get this thing moving. They're going to ads there. There's so much going on today. I'm trying to manage it all. We'll have to get the clock going here, and I'll have to come back to that graphic later on in the process and get out of there. Whew. Crawley still up on Tranmere. Barrow moves up on Newport 1-0. Crewe sitting at 1-1. That's helpful. That it'd be arguably better if AFC is able to find one as we're underway for the second half. For those of you not able to watch, long blast from the right-hand side, but moves far right and not a threat at all. Really there from Clifton. Grimsby going from right to left on your monitors or in your mind. Wrexham going from left to right. Ogonko's got it. Man, 3 points behind Mansfield. Stockport looking to try to draw up or on top of us, but doing so at the expense of the MK Dons. It's Mendy trying to preserve it, not able to do it. Going to go for went for a corner. Mullen might have, they're saying on the color that Mendy might have saw that it touched the body, and so Mendy was screamed at by Mullen to leave it, and he did. So it's going to be a Lee corner. Prove me wrong, Lee. Right-footed, and he plays it short. So just eliminating the weapon as we go all nuts. O'Connor gets it back over to Cannon on the left-hand side, looking to get the cross in. Doesn't. Cross now comes in, flat, headed away. TOC tries to get it to O'Connor or to Cannon, and the corner doesn't, but Grimsby doesn't clear. It goes to Lee. Lee dancing forward. Loose ball. Somebody have a shot, and O'Connell comes up and then just thumps it way over top. Lee sort of scrambling, ball shooting everywhere. Velcro man running forward. The ball just keeps coming to him, but with no control. It's like bounces off to the left, lands on his chest, bounces off somebody on the right, lands on his chest. Not able to get it under control, but he just kept moving forward. He couldn't get a shot. Cannon couldn't get a shot. It lands on Cleworth, or not on Cleworth, on O'Connell's foot, and O'Connell just thumps it to Saturn. Grimsby with it. Lee in the battle. He dispossesses him, gets it to Mullen. Mullen, Palmer, backheel to Lee. Lee looking to Bolton. This doesn't give to it. Gives it to him now. Bolton, right side. Shoulder charge. He gets pulled down. Going to be a free kick. Is that a yellow card as well? It is. Bolton had him beat, and the player sort of did the horizontal flop, kicked the legs out, and drew Bolton down as he was going around him. And that's going to be... is that Hume over on that side? And so that's going to be a free kick right from the 18-yard extended, probably about 7 yards. Let's call that 10 yards away. So still, it's a dangerous spot, just given the fact that if you can get it to that far post, I'm sure, and look to draw it back in, there's options that are available for us. Let's make it 4. Let's have some fun. Kim's suggesting violence, and I'm okay with it. The wind blowing that ball around is Tom's just trying to get it back to the mark. Mendy, he's going to go off the pitch. He's hobbling. Does that mean McFadden's going to draw in on this one, or is he okay? He's got a little bit of wobble on that left leg. I didn't see what happened there and as to why he hit the ground. And the Callum is in. So Mendy out, McFadden in. Lots of people have a lot of love for McFadden, so I'm relying on them. And we'll see, see if Bolton and McFadden swap sides. Doesn't look like it. TOC, far post, headed. Dangerous. Oh, and the offside flag went up. I didn't look offside to me, but interesting. We'll give it. As long as our goal for stays the same, I just want it up. But you're right. Keep the clean sheet. Not just for the clean sheet, but interesting. I mean, I'd like to see the camera angle the other way so that you could actually see if that wasn't offside. But we're at 10 shots to 5. Sorry for not taking the delay and updating that one through the half. 4 on target for us, 1 on target for them. Other relevant stats. Our passing's still garbage. 100 passes at 56%. But clinical today. That was a good cross by TOC, and maybe TOC should be taking those corners as Palmer has it. Looks distance. And he apologizes to Mullen for not getting him the ball as he took a crack from about, what was that, 30 yards out? Not really that threatening. And nobody wanted. I mean, we needed it because Mendy looks like he might have done something to his left leg. He was able to walk off under his own power, but he did have the hobble. Because I thought McFadden usually plays on the right. No? And so as between Bolton and him, I was wondering who was better on that foot, or on that side. If I'm wrong, that's on me. Tom Wilson. So O'Connell ends up with a heavy push in the back, gives away a foul. This one's going to be in a threatening area. It's just basically 25 yards out and right on the perpendicular with the outside of the 18-yard box. So it's going to be a left footer who's taking it. 2 men in the wall. and lots of numbers forward where Grimsby is. The question is going to be asked of Ogonko here, I get the sense, and there's the cross, and that was wasted as wasted could be. Wasn't straight out for a goal kick. That was as bad a free kick as I've ever seen. Who was that? Hume, left-footed. He doesn't get it over into a place where any Grimsby player can get a touch on it, and it's not a shot and completely harmless out to the left. So I will take that. I don't forget. I'll take him on the corners. I'll take him on the set pieces. I mean, even that touch that he had running in that went off to Cannon, that was gorgeous, that pass. Oh, Mullen with it, and it's collected. Cartwright able to come out and get it, just unlucky on the bounce as that sort of skipped through this all three center backs, and Mullen's the only guy with an opportunity on the ball, but instead it bounces and it goes to Cartwright. McFadden gets it up forward. Ooh, that's the first weak call. I'd have to look and see if Mullen did anything to Malarkey there, but Malarkey goes to ground on what looked like, compared to all of the contact that's been allowed today, that was the least amount of contact for anybody going to ground. And the ref gave it, so Grimsby has it, and they're going to start it. Go shopping. That's the rule. Talk to those that you love, that it's just now an obligation that you have to go shopping every Saturday. Get her done. Malarkey. Was I right that was just soft? 200 people watching. I will take that. I'll take the 69 legs. But yeah, by all means, go ahead and smash it if you haven't hit the button. Let people know that we're here. I expected the numbers to be a little bit down just because no back out. This one's on Sky in the UK. So would you listen to me? I would like to think so, but I know some people are just here out of desperation, and some people are here for the community. So wherever you're here, wherever you're from, wherever you're here, enjoy this one. Notts County draws equal with Salford. And if it turns out that it's your shopping is the secret sauce, we were going to do a GoFundMe and send you shopping every Saturday. That I can guarantee. We're going to have to keep an eye on it, Brendan. Grimsby with it, crossed into the box, headed away. Mullen holding up his man so that Lee can run into it, and Lee does. Takes it. He's got no options, and he's up against the touchline, so he beats two, but can't beat the third. Grimsby with it. Lee looking to dispossess him, and it's flicked up. Boyle grabs it and thumps it the other way. Headed, and is that going to go for a corner or a goal or a throw-in? Throw-in. Don't laugh. We'll make it happen. Is McFadden going for the throw-in? Just 3 yards away from the corner flag. Lee's there to give him the option. Somebody else has to go over there. He's got nobody to throw to except for Lee. There's one more body. A TOC comes over, grabs it, gets pushed in the back. Nothing given. And Grimsby takes it. And then they give it the other way. Hey, there's been a little bit of odd calls given the consistency of the referee as TOC gets completely bundled into in the back. Grimsby grabs the ball, flicks it up the other way. McFadden gives him the same challenge, and they say that's too much. Too much. The wind seems stronger to me this half. Does anybody agree who's watching? We're going with the wind, by the way, them going against it, but it's definitely blowing. Cannon with it. He's knocked over, and we get a free kick there. How good is today? Getting to enjoy a Wrexham match up 3-0 where you can just hear the fans singing in the background, have a chat with the community, and nobody's reaching for paddles. At home. I mean, they've just been ugly. But to be fair, I mean, the expected goals are only 0.54 for us. We've just been clinical. Oh, the Cannon's got two. The first one was a run that he ended up collecting the ball and moving forward. Nobody came out to challenge until Tharn got out there, and then he ducked and went around him. Tharn's had a horrible game. Got around Thorn, blasted it left side, and scored. Second one, also Cannon. That one went down the right-hand side. Mullen had the first touch, got it over to TOC, straight up counterattack all the way from our own end across the midfield stripe. TOC collects it, and as soon as Cannon on a run towards the box, as it's a giveaway, and we're moving forward. I'll come back to that one as Lee tries to get it and gives it away, and Grimsby has it. So the second goal, TOC delivers it to Cannon in the box. Glorious pass, like beautiful, picture perfect, couldn't be any better. And Cannon one-foots it and slides it home. And the second one, another Tharn mistake. Cross into the box, Mendy muffs it, and it lands on Tharn's foot. Tharn muffs it and drives it into the ground. It lands to Mullen, and that's the last person who's in the box that you want to have a touch. And Mullen just turned around and punched it in. TOC's looked... his passing is still as remarkable as it has ever been. The Cannon goal, an example. He's had... set piece delivery on that one occasion. It's been good, but his first touches have been a little bit rusty, scrambly. Amen to that, Don, except I was supposed to wake up at 4:40 to get ready for the Mansfield game, and I didn't make it until the half. If you missed that one, Mansfield in a draw with Colchester, who gained a point. Yeah, there's a summary from Brendan that pretty much summarizes where we're at with it. Padbucci, nice to see you. Haven't seen you here before. Welcome. As the wind is blowing the ball, like there's a corner here for Grimsby from the left-hand side. The corner flag is blowing. He's asking for somebody to hold it. The steward's going to come out and hold the flag, and the ball is rolling all over the place. And here it is delivered in. Headed away, flicked on by somebody, and now McFadden's out there, and he just gets pushed unceremoniously in the back and unnecessarily. I don't like that because there was no play on the ball. That's through his back. That's a yellow card. Like, McFadden's there, he's moving forward, and he just gets a shove in the back. Like, I get that he's been allowing for the firm challenges, and if that was a shoulder in the back, then fine, but that should have been a yellow. I'm pretty sure most of the Americans change with us, or all of them do. Saskatchewan is the only one I think that doesn't change in Canada. Yeah, but he had that glorious pass, and the thing is how do you get a guy to bang out rust? Is you put him on the pitch and you let him get at it, right? Game time stuff is the best cure. And we've got subs here. Grimsby bringing in two. This is going to be Pike. Oh, I was looking for number 3. So that's 33. Hume coming off. He had that horrible free kick that went way over, all over to nowhere. And he's going to be subbed out for... Wrong button. 1 second. Subbed out for Nahua, and Holohan coming off, one of the forwards who looks... And there's a third change that looked like Wood coming on. 4 for... Man, these numbers are horrible. 4 for 18. So that's Wood coming in for Green, and Holohan went out, and I missed who came in. Camden, Australia. Welcome. Or Nor. It's another Bluey guy. I don't know. Australia is going to be known as the land of a cartoon. That's going to be the most famous export in short order for everybody who's got parents. McFadden with it, left-hand side, gets it back. O'Connor. Is that a switch or is that a lift to Palmer? Kind of halfway in between. Didn't get to Palmer, didn't get to Bolton, and it's cleared up in the air. Cannon's in a battle with it. Had it up. Cluworth steps up to try to maintain it, and Cannon scrambles back. EOC tries to get it. He can't get it. Bolton with a little bit of a leg in. on Obiku, and that's a foul, and that's Grimsby with the ball at the midfield stripe. I will have to look up the first name, Andrew, on which Holohan that is, because I don't have it. No, not Wes. Gavin Holohan. He's also Irish from Kilkenny. Played at Hull City. Went to Hartlepool. 69 games at Grimsby, 12 goals. Didn't look good today, so that's when he came out. I hate the time change because it just it backs things up. That 7 a.m. kickoff is better for me just because 8 a.m. too many people are live and doing their thing. Morecambe pulls up on Gillingham 2-1. Still looking at Crewe and Wimbledon being equal. Barrow gaining points on Newport. Crawley gaining points. So a lot of the teams that are in that playoff hunt adding points and trying to assert their position. Crewe sliding back might be the only them and one of either Stockport or the MK Dons or both. We'll see how that one goes on later on. We'll be able to watch that one, DAZN, ESPN Plus, Bain in Australia, wherever you're at, as we finally nick the ball away here. I haven't done a shot update in a while, and Bolton's going to go and try and collect that, and even with his pace, he's not able to get there. It's going to be a Grimsby throw from deep in their zone. $11 shots to 5. There's been one in like the last 12 minutes. It has been a dry second half. Palmer with it, tries to get it to Cannon. Bad pass, but Cannon's just able to keep it in. That's all he's able to do. Bolton doesn't put it on the chase. Palmer does, but goes out, and it's going to be a Grimsby throw. Ho-hum. But I'm good with ho-hum. I'm good with twiddling my fingers and thumbs. It's being up 3-0. Yeah, he didn't look good today. I mean, Obiku has had some touches and some pace. He just hasn't been able to maintain possession. If I'm to try and pick somebody who's been okay for Grimsby, sure as hell isn't Tharm. He's had one of the worst games I've seen from a center back so far this year. You think Wimbledon's got an opportunity to draw in, eh? I don't know. I'm happy with the 1-1 draw between them and Crewe at the moment. Big shout out, and so they're going to end up giving a free kick. Mullins, that was almost like a preemptory. The shout was before the foul. Mullen, the shout was out before, but anyways, we're going to get a free kick to Grimsby. This is going to be 28 yards out, 29 yards out. To the right-hand side, just out front of the penalty area on the right-hand side. The wind blowing the ball. I can't see who's taking this. It won't be Hume because he was subbed out. 3 men in the wall. And the curse of these red numbers means I'm guessing. But it's a left footer. And here it comes. Andrews. Right into the wall. So that's 2 horrible set pieces by Grimsby, and we'll take that every day of the week, especially on Saturdays. 52% on FOTMob for me, Kim. But yeah, we've been clinical up front in limited opportunities, and it's kind of messy everywhere else. But I will take it as Cannon has it, pushes it forward. He gets it out to Lee. Lee draws it back to Cannon across the midfield stripe. Pass, that's got to be offside, but Mullen is there. Push and a hop over the Cartwright by Mullen to not clear him out. Not offside. No flag goes up, and it gets kicked out. Or did that flag just go up now? Yes, I left the graphic and didn't update the the date apparently. I was relying, John, are you still here? I'm relying on you to do my check. And usually John sends me a message. Always pleasant to talk to him, and certainly one of the sources, and that's got to be a yellow. Cleared away and then ran into, and the late challenge gets him in the thigh, but it's not a yellow. The ref just gives him a pat on the back, and we're going to get a free kick from 35, 40 yards out. It's another reason to rescue the day as far as letting people know that we're here by making sure you hit the like button to let people know that we're live, as I put the wrong date and can't get my life right or organized. 66% in the poll so far voting for the draw. 11 shots. Oh, Grimsby's added one. We have another sellout away. That's the stat that I want to see. I was looking for it, is how many places sell out for our game, or what the change in attendance is for our games versus average. And maybe I do that in the off season at some point in time. Free kick just played right over to Cleworth. And he challenges there. It's knocked out by Obiku, and Wrexham throwing on the right-hand side. 68th minute. 3-0, no magic in the second half. 5 shots on target, 11 total goals, 53% passing on only 114 passes. Lee saves it from the goal line, but it ends up going to Cartwright. Kim's calling for it. Give it to her. Parkey. Marriott. We need Marriott to draw in. Bring Fletcher if you want. Leave Palmer on. Leave Mullen on. I don't care. Bring them in. They do, don't they? And I'd like to see the delta as to, like, you know, every time Wrexham goes, it seems that they sell out. But we're not massive. Maybe it's just because everybody hates us. Grimsby with it. Control over on the left-hand side. Andrews draws it back. It's going to swap around with the center backs, as they only end up having 2 back as they look to maybe change formation to push forward a little bit. Just 2 guys in the back. I would take that, Antoine, for sure. Just having a look at things. And we've got games on Friday. And it's on DAZN. That match, Wrexham and Mansfield Town. So ESPN Plus in the US, available, buying in Australia. Live Soccer, by the way, is the place to go to. They read where you are, assuming you don't have a VPN on. They read where you are geographically, tell you the game, and you can click the international button and it'll list all of the providers. So that's the way to go. Like instantaneously. Bounce in the penalty area for Grimsby, cleared away. Bolton gets a header on it, and McFadden ends up thumping it in the air. It's down there. Mullen's going to be chasing this one down, and he's going to get there first. No, Cartwright's going to run out and save that one and pull it out. Still no score updates in the 3 that are up top, although Sutton, those teams at the bottom are scrambling to get up. Colchester with a point today. Sutton looking to secure 3 against Accrington. FGR is going to have all their games coming up 5 in a row against the top 5. That's just the gauntlet. The gauntlet is, here comes some subs. Andy Cannon coming off. Luke Young going on. The chance for the hat trick is done. But applause for Mr. Cannon. I'm away. In the race course, the mighty race course, Cannon scores 2 tonight. Hey. And Young's on. And we're ready to roll again with the Wrexham throw deep down the left-hand side. Good Friday is going to be good. And then we've got, we're looking as though it's going to be a massive watch party for everybody to join in and do the, going to do a massive watch party for everybody to sort of join in and do the one person watching 4 different games on restream, so no scoreboard up, but we'll just all keep track of the score. Mullen with it, gets it over to Bolton, right-hand side, into the corner, near the corner flag. One man on him. He's looking to dance. He's probably got to go left or draw it all out, and Lung moves up to give him support. Young goes to the corner. Got over to the goal line, got too close, tries to draw it in, couldn't get anything on it, just rolls harmlessly. But it's not cleared. TOC gets it, back to Bolton. Into the box, looking for Mullen, flipped up in the air, and that's going to be a corner, or does he save it? He doesn't. Goes for a corner, and Young points to Lee and says, you take it. Mullen goes out to set the ball down. Interesting that Young's out there not taking that corner. TOC's out there not taking that corner. Instead, they're giving it to Lee. I did see somebody post yesterday about us ruining football, and I thought, how could a club that's one of the only ones that's spending less? That was actually a better ball from Lee, just a little bit further out would have been nice. Mullen put his hands on the keeper coming out and a shout from the crowd, but Grimsby's coming on the counterattack, and well done by, I think that was McFadden. No, it wasn't. Luke Young deflecting that one out and getting it out. Last year in the entire 92, if I have my numbers right, there were only two teams that earned more in revenue than they spent on expenses. And that was, one last year. And that was the Spurs. Now that we're there, that's 2 teams. Like, that's how shocking it is to me that there's so much overspending trying to race up to get to the Premier League. And that's why you end up with the Everton, Notts Forest, now Leicester City. You can blame Man City if you wish. There is just a mass scramble and mob of bodies. And finally, that was Malarkey who just bullied through, and by bullying through, fell to ground, and he ends going to get a free kick over in the corner there. Yeah, we'll all be cheering for Andrew to be able to go to that one. Although we're going to win out. And so by then we'll already know we're everything's good, right? Left foot into the box, headed away, up in the air, collected. And it's drawn back. The Welsh national anthem echoing through the crowd. Love it. Love it. Love it. Had to pause while I was listening to that one. Sutton, at the bottom of the table, doesn't want the season to die. They've all got a story to write. Palmer puts the pressure on, and he ekes out a corner. Well done, Mr. Palmer. Where are our subs, Mr. Parkinson? I can't do it. I'm running a 4-game day today, and just with work commitments, car show, all that sort of stuff. Family's down from up north, so it's not going to be on the cards for me, and I feel guilty about it. I would love to find somebody who would want to do that, and we can figure out how to make arrangements for it. Just because it looks like I'm going to have to tap out for the Sundays, just because this whole being a partner thing means a lot more work. At least till I figure out what the hell I'm doing. I mean, I'm confident. I know exactly what I'm doing. Left-footed O'Connor. That was a brilliant corner. Can we get more of those? Like, that wasn't high. It wasn't so flat that it was there was pace on it. It was to the middle of the goal. Lee was there with an opportunity. That's the sort of stuff that I want. Until the next time, John. You think 80? I mean, that'd be the second lowest of all time. But I mean, there is a lot of teams up in the split, and there's a lot of playoff teams fighting. It's possible. It's possible, Kim. Jan, 안녕하세요. 잘 지냈어? Have you been well? And I use Panma. If you want me to use Heoche, because I don't know you, I can do that too. Have to conjugate my verbs properly. Maybe I'm older than you. Maybe. How old are you? I'm Chilchilnyam. So if I'm older, then I can use the Banma, use the lower form. Okonkwo, that's dangerous. That was a high ball that came over to the left-hand side. Okonkwo goes up to collect it, gets interfered with by a player, goes to ground. No call, but he's able to clear it. Mullen ends up taking a flop there. I think that was a flop. Not getting a lot of sympathy from Grimsby Town here. I didn't see that being risky and harmful, but he is down and he's staying down. So this is Mullen on the ground. Here comes the replay. Mullen running forward and Tharn there. No, that's a flop. Sorry, Mulls. At least I hope that's... Tharn was there, or maybe it can't be Tharn. I thought he got pulled off. But anyway, the center back is there. Kind of gets the shoulder out, but Mullen runs into it, and he's going down before he actually makes contact. That was Korean. I was talking to Chan, who it says "annyeonghaseyo," which means hello to everybody. Yeah, the grandparents are here to try to take care of everything, but you've got to have them in the background. I'm waiting for 10 years from now. McFadden, well cut out. Did he get the corner? No, it's going to go for a goal kick. Well done by Fadsy there to be able to knock that one free, get it towards the goal line. Kind of nicked it and thought we were going to have an opportunity. Won't take 12 months, but it's not going to be ready for the start of the season. Well, thank you. Komapso. See, I could even throw out like the old historical sounding stuff. But yeah, it's 5 years of living there. We'll do it. And I have a Korean friend who's interested in doing a Korean version of the Red Horde, and we might be over the summer building that one up and see if we can end up doing sort of a thing where he'll do it in Korean and maybe I'll show up every once in a while just to chat in English and see if we can do learn English through Wrexham. Maybe we need a Welsh speaker too. We can do a learn Welsh or English through. Got to have the Korean Red join the Wrexham Red Dragons, right? Especially because Ryan Reynolds loves New Jeans and all those people. Yeah, Christmas time makes sense to me, but they've got to be able to get off those last conditions. Long throw here from McFadden that's going to go into the box. Headed away by Grimsby. Headed it still in the box, but headed around and finally cleared out. 79th minute, 80th minute. Nudge in the back up by O'Connell. Those have not been called fouls, and he gives it back to Okonkwo, who's just going to bash it back over to O'Connell. That was a dangerous one. Almost went out of play. Yeah, I lived in Gangnam and taught at Hanyang Elementary at Hanyangdae. So it was a good time. I would love to learn Welsh. There's an opportunity to do so here. The only Welsh hall in all of North America is in Vancouver, and they have Welsh lessons. And I just haven't gone over there. Bad pass by Grimsby, and it lands on the boot of Palmer, and it comes forward to Bolton. Bolton gets it over, and Lee and Mullen get crossed up. And who wants it? Do you want it? Do I want it? Does nobody want it? And hey, 6 more subs. I get to 1,400. Let's wrap that one up today in the next 10 minutes. If you're still looking, give me the bump. Cleared down by Grimsby and then just cleared out by O'Connell, and it's massive. And we're at the 80th minute and not a sub. And Marriott has 3 goals from his reserve game, and he's looking to get minutes so he can find his goal with the club. Parkinson let him try and have a run out here to do his thing. The job is done. The job is done. We're looking to build here. Low scores. Bugger. I blame Parky for no subs. Needed the fresh bodies. Didn't get it, and that's going to be a goal by the substitute. Naum? 3-1. Ogonko was frustrated. That was just 18-yard box. He's taking on McFadden. He just moves over to the left, and Young shelters and cuts off McFadden, who can't run with him, and then doesn't make the run out far enough to block it. And Ogonko's there, just moving over to the left, and it just beats him to the left post. So Young with the mistake. blocking out. Like it was the perfect pick play in basketball where you set up the shop and you take the guy out. I don't know what Young was doing. McFadden had him covered, and I don't mind the pick play as long as you're going to pick him up, but he didn't pick him up, and it let Naua move over and be able to pot that one. Unfortunate. 82nd minute, still no subs, Mr. Parkinson. Bolton beats his man, right-hand side, into the penalty area, draws it over, and he's going to get a corner over to the right-hand side. Please give me TOC. That last delivery was beautiful. It was magic. It didn't result in a goal, but it's exactly what you want. You want one that the defenders aren't able to get to, the pace is there, and it's in a threatening area, and that's exactly what he served up. It was horrible defending by Young. I'm not going to lie. That was... especially because we had everybody back. He's not as predictable with the subscript as you thought. Whipped in back post, heavy. It's touched. It's there, headed, and Mullen just up over top. TOC serves it up every time. Typical Wrexham losing defense, but we're winning. I mean, it was just... we had everybody back. We were in control. He was in a harmless spot. McFadden had him, and then he gets blocked out. Push in the back. We're going to get a free kick as TOC just gets pushed into. The Yale side can still go up. And the other side, if you do underground parking, the tech side can go up. And I'd like to see the tech side get a whole bunch of boxes or maybe even those fancy hotel rooms at the top. Rent those ones out for premiums and people can have them and have their own little private balcony. I'd love to see that on the tech side, but you'd have to improve the parking, right? And have an agreement with the university, but they seem to be pretty good about things. So Marriott and Fletcher, they're going to come in at the same time with like 4 minutes left. Sorry, Parky, what's the effing point? What's the effing point? I might as well leave them on the bench. It's a 3-1 game, and you want to give those two an opportunity to go have a run around, bang the legs out, hopefully open the account, get off the schneid. So that's frustrating. But it's 3-1, so how frustrating can I be? Gillingham pulls up on Morecambe W&G. Much appreciation for that one as the scores keep rolling in. Crawley looks to be well and secure in their position. That puts them 7th on the table with still a game in hand. But they're at 59 points. There's a big divide once you fall off of Barrow. Barrow sitting at 64. Crawley sitting at 59. Ollie Palmer with it. Next game up, Stockport MK Don starts at 10:15. So we're probably going to move pretty quickly over to that one. And I've got to create the stream for it. It'll be on Restream, no scoreboard, no whatever, just chatting. And I'm hoping to invite the local pundit potentially in. Baz, anybody. The Ramblers. Here come the subs. Mullen out for Marriott. Fletcher on for Palmer. 85th minute, so they're going to get a 10-minute run. I would have loved to have seen that earlier. Could have got them an extra 5, maybe an extra 7 minutes. Doncaster trying to put a stake into Forest Green. They have a nasty, tough schedule. My word. Because they 2-0 with Doncaster, and then they're going to start their gauntlet and their blast with all top 5 teams in 5 consecutive weeks. Accrington trying to make a game of it, probably too late against Sutton. Stephen Fletcher late in the game, though. Him with Marriott, this could be fun. I just don't get the logic of Parky with the subs. I mean, it's predictable and frustrating, I guess, but Marriott getting pulled, but here we go. TOC out to Bolton. Bolton with it, right-hand side. Marriott and Fletcher up. Fletcher's clear. Could he get it to him? He's got 2 men on, so Bolton's got to find some support. Young gets out there. Young grabs it. And here comes Young driving towards the box. Crosses in. It's going to go for a corner. We're okay. Grimsby hasn't been threatening enough to really worry about it. And we're going to get a corner here from the other side. And we're also taking our time doing things. So we're okay. And that's going to go for a throw. And we're just going to go back and take our time. Ball boy's not getting us the ball, so we'll walk all the way over. And the time will click away. Salford up on Notts. That's a little bit frustrating because I was hoping Notts was going to be able to draw in and really have something to fight for as their matches against the teams we compete with still matter. And I'd like to see them help us out. Young takes it, leaves it, tries to get it back to Marriott, but can't. He gets knocked over, and they call that offside. The Palmer effect is still intact. For those that are keeping track, I think that makes it 12 wins in games that he started and no losses. I think it's 12-4. I'd have to go back to the graphic. Yeah, but the boys will pay. Rob and Ryan will pay if the team is making money. And that's why I can see it. So whether we buy it or whether we just end up having an agreement that we'll sub out their parking with a beautiful underground parking lot right underneath. I mean, if the club is doing what it's doing and you're getting the revenue sources for it, I'd even offset by doing exactly that, of putting up at the top, the very, very top, a row of hotel rooms. You can stay at the race course and overlook the grounds. Imagine the marketing to North American fans of going over and sitting there with a nice balcony that you can wake up in the morning and have coffee and watch them water in the grass on a Thursday. I mean, it's sexy. It's sexy. Turn it into a big pound earning machine. But yes, academy first. We got 22 acres to buy somewhere. Bolton tried to nick that one, couldn't do it, and Young Grimsby moving forward down the left-hand side. Young couldn't get it. Bolton and Cleworth marking a man apiece on the right-hand side. Rogers with the boot. Whoa! Hit an arm. Right side over the top. Holy! That did hit Cleworth's arm, but it was close to body, and I don't know if he could have reacted to it at all. So no penalty shout, but as soon as it happened, the eyes instantly dart over to the goalkeeper. It bounces off, lands on a Grimsby defender. Yeah, I don't think he couldn't have got out of the way of that. But it lands to a Grimsby attacker, and he gets it across, and it skips once, twice, and then lands on the boot of Obiku over on the other side, who skyballs it up over top. Yeah, training ground sounded first. Yeah, it can't be now, though, Swirly, because they're too far in and the money's already been set aside, right? So cleared down. We'll see how much extra time we have. What are we thinking? 4 minutes of added time? We'll see. Dennis, yes, I do cover all of the Wrexham men's matches. I was doing the women's, but I'm not able to. 5 minutes of added time. So I will be here, whether it's televised in the UK or not, whether it's blackout or not. We're here building the community and throwing it around. 6 more to subscribers to 1,400. That'd be nice before the end of the day. As we headed out, Grimsby with it. Fans are starting to walk for the exits. That's embarrassing. Beat the traffic, lads. That's important. Grimsby gets it over. Just a mess over on the right-hand side in the corner. There's like 4 or 5 Wrexham bodies and about 5 Grimsby bodies. Ball's just skirting around, and they're able to get possession here. Lee tries for the block. McFadden comes in, and he gets the block, and it's going to go out for a throw. Well defended. Just keep him out there. Yeah, and that's never going to happen. They're going to be playing at the race course. They'll build that up. You'll be surprised. There's the ability to do it, especially if we're able to fill that cop up. Big shout for a call, but that was a search and a flop for a penalty. That was Obiku just leaning backwards and trying to make contact with somebody so he could get a penalty. Wasn't able to, obviously. Yes, training ground first before any other upgrade around the stadium. It has to be done because we've got to get up. I mean, if we want to climb the ladder anyway, we need to get up to at least a category 3 academy. And we're sitting at 4. Is that Yamo Heed playing in the background? McFadden looking to where do I throw this one in? Can't blame us for time wasting though. Like, we've been relatively quick playing the ball. Fad's got that in shortly thereafter, other than asking the official if he wanted him to take it further down. I would like to think that the university is of the mind that if any deal that sounds good is a good one. And if they get underground parking and maybe the opportunity you put in there some accessible rooms that can serve to be boardrooms for meetings and some hotel stuff, then they can use that as marketing opportunities, right? And use it for usership for when they're hosting events and professors and stuff that's coming in. There's options. There's options. Are we worried about the Druids? But yeah, we got to have somewhere for the women to play. They're going to have those 2 pitches. It's going to be community development and usership for everybody and improve football around the city. The training ground just has to go. I'm going to have to look at that afterwards. The Grosvenor School. I'm curious as to how much space it actually has. Grimsby with an opportunity. That's a yellow card for Clueworth. Got to be. He just reached over and pulled down the defender, grabbed him around the shoulders and gave him the yank. And so probably the smart play as far as stopping a run and a potential threat just to preserve the scoreboard from well out to take that. I live across the street from an 8-acre park where there are 9 football pitches on that one. And so 22 acres to me, when I hear about it, I was like, that's a lot. And I know they're planning to have like coffee shops and other stuff. So going to be a right-footed 30 yards out and a horrible entry there. Grimsby's set pieces have been the worst of anybody I've seen this year. Yes, Sarah, I was planning to go for the Mansfield game. The only reason I'm not is our house had a house fire 2 years ago, and we're looking to get that back in May, put it on the market, potentially move. There's just too many moving pieces right now. And so we will be going over there. My wife actually commands it, and she's from Doncaster, and so we'll be spending time between South Yorkshire and Wrexham when we go. And I'm hoping to be over there for a couple. I did say to her, I won't even mention that one. We'll talk about that if it happens. I don't want to jinx it and send it out as a possibility into the universe, but I will be there at some point. You're talking the academy, Vince? Yeah, there's a distance requirement that I don't think it has but I think it's greater than 2.5 miles. Full-time whistle blows. That's the wrap-up. A 3-1, uneventful. As much as we scored 3 goals, we had 3 excellent finishes, but the majority of the match was relatively meh. I mean, update the shots. 13 shots. That's far less than we're used to, but hey, we'll take it. Grimsby with 10 shots, but only 2 on target. We were down in possession. Our passing was absolutely atrocious at 51%, but it is a perfect day, almost a perfect day. A Colchester win would have been better than a draw. I've got to bounce really quick because the other game starts in 20 minutes. And so I'm going to shut this stream down, and then I've got to create the other one, including the graphic, and get it up. That's going to be over on Restream, so it won't be with this layout. But come and join us there, and as soon as I can get it up, I'll join with the expectation that it'll be the same from me, but Josh may join, Baz may join, Carl may join, Matt may join. We may end up with a bunch of people just all sitting and chatting and then looking to do the after 90 minutes for a bit while I wait for the Canada game to start. It's football all day, every day. 3-1 win. We're up That's awesome. Hopefully the Crewe one finishes where it's at, or Wimbledon. I'll take a Wimbledon win, but let's talk about that as we move over there, and WG can wrap that one up. Snowboard, thanks for joining late. You missed out on a good result, but not really an exceptional performance. But who cares? It's 3 points. You guys are awesome. To W&G for the scoreboard, to Brandon for keeping everybody entertained, and for the flop counter, to all of the members that are there. I'm 6 away from 1,400. I'd like to have those. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, give it a bump. If not, that's fine. And if you're looking to support, the join button is down below. Make sure to grab that membership before you go. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm not here without your guys' awesomeness, and I'm having a blast doing this. So let's just keep it running, and we'll talk about it. I will see you in 10. Let's call it. All right. See you in a bit.